Hi children, welcome back to our class. We have seen that last class physical and chemical changes, and this chemical changes are also known as chemical reactions. Okay, and now we will be moving to our present topic, that is classification. In the beginning of this chapter I have mentioned that matter is classification of matter particles that we have seen, isn't it? So now we are coming to the end of this chapter. So here we will see the other classification of matter particles. So moving to our topic, classification. Initially we have seen matter is classified into two, that is pure substances and mixtures. Mixture classification completely, and the methods of separation, everything we have seen. And we have seen that matter is classified into pure substances and mixtures. Now we are moving to this side, pure substances. How we can classify pure substance? What do you mean by pure substance? Yes, pure substances are substances made up of only one type of materials. Okay, substances made up of only one type of material, that is known as pure substances. For example, we have seen if you are taking hydrogen gas, there you can see hydrogen molecules only. If you are taking water, there you can see water molecules only. No other molecules we can see with that water, isn't it? So all these are pure substances. Now we will see further classification of pure substances. Pure substances are classified into elements and compounds. Pure substances are classified into elements and compounds. What do you mean by this elements? In the case of elements, we cannot divide that elements further into any other things. That is the smallest material of a substance, smallest particle of a substance, and we cannot further divide that elements. Okay, and they are made up of only one type of atoms or molecules. Elements are made up of only one type of atoms or molecules. They are the building blocks of all these materials. Okay, if you are taking hydrogen gas, that is made up of hydrogen molecules. Okay, there you cannot see any carbon molecule, or there you cannot see any oxygen molecule in hydrogen gas. If you consider hydrogen gas or if you consider oxygen gas, there you can see only one type of molecules. That is known as elements. Example, hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, etc. Okay, but if you are taking that water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So we cannot include them under elements. That means when you are taking a molecule of water, there you can observe hydrogen and oxygen together. So you cannot tell that water is an element. So these are elements, are the substances made up of only one type of molecules. Okay. Now again we can see that elements are classified again to three classes, that is elements are classified into three: metals, non-metals and metalloids. That classification of elements: metals, non-metals and metalloids. You have studied in smaller classes, even then we will discuss it. Metals, we have seen some properties are there for the metals. What are the properties of metals? Metals possess metallic luster, metals are malleable, metals are ductile, metals are high melting and boiling points, isn't it? And metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, and metals are sonorous. All these are the different properties of metals that we have seen, isn't it? So those elements which have those properties, we will categorize them as metals, and examples we can see: aluminium, iron, gold, all these are examples of metals. And then non-metals also, you know, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, all these are non-metals. Hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, all these are non-metals. Okay. Then metalloids means that metalloids are elements which shows both the properties of metals and non-metals. They are in between the metals and non-metals. At certain temperature they will show the properties of metals, but another temperature they will show the properties of non-metals. So, we can define that metalloids are elements showing both the properties of metals and non-metals. Example, we can say for the metalloids, we can say example boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, all these are different examples of metalloids. Okay. So, we are classifying the elements into three: metals, non-metals and metalloids. And some exceptional cases are there. There are lots of elements are known at present. 118 elements are known, and majority of the elements are in solid state, and some elements are in the gaseous state, and very few are there in the liquid state. Now we can see in the case of metals, mercury is the liquid metal. Mercury is the liquid metal. Okay, and when we are talking about the non-metal, the bromine is the liquid non-metal. Bromine is a liquid non-metal. Both these are existing as liquids at room temperature. And then elements gallium and cesium become solid at become liquid at room temperature. Slightly above the room temperature they will convert into, normally they are solids, and slightly above the room temperature they will convert into liquid state. Okay. Now we have seen pure substances are made up of only one type of materials, and that pure substances are classified into elements and compounds. Elements are made up of only one type of molecules there, and thus elements are classified into metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now we can see classification of what do you mean by compounds. What is compounds? Compounds are made up of different elements. The different elements are combined there in a fixed composition. Fixed ratio is there for their combination, and at that particular ratio, the proportion, if they are combining there, we will get the compounds. For example, in the case of compounds, we can see some examples. The compounds example, water. Water H2O, it is made up of hydrogen and oxygen there, and hydrogen and oxygen are combining in the ratio 2:1. In the atomic ratio 2:1, if the hydrogen and oxygen are combining there, you will get water. But if the ratio is different, you will not get water there, you will get some other product. So, in a fixed proportion they are combining there, then that different elements are combining there, then we will get the compounds. Okay, a compound is a substance composed of two or more elements combined in definite proportion. By mass they are combining, so that compound will be obtained. Okay, and examples for compounds are water, ammonia, carbon dioxide, all these are different examples for compounds. Okay, clear? I hope this much is clear to you. Thank you.